Here's verse 11 of the second chapter of the Gospel of John. We've just finished the conversation in which the head steward, or the best man possibly, is saying to the groom at this wedding, noting that generally people will hold the inferior wine for later, put out their best at the beginning, but that this bridegroom has at least presumably done the very opposite. Of course, the bridegroom may have been as astonished at the developments as anybody present, and may not have been able to give an immediate explanation for that, but the entire verse is intended to communicate a bit of wry humor about the whole matter, as we were noting last time. Now John steps in, having completed a narrative concerning the story, and gives his own commentary in the verse that's before us, beginning with the demonstrative pronoun tautein, feminine, accusative, singular. It goes with archein, which means beginning. So this beginning, epoiesin, from poieo, means to make or to do. It can have within it a sense of creation, to create something, and that may be subtly implied by John here, because we do have a bit of a creative event going on, but the simple sense of it is he made this beginning ton semeion of signs. The word semeion, sign, doesn't necessarily suggest miraculous signs. It simply means a sign, as in a signpost. But John does use it distinctively in his gospel to refer to the well-known 7 signs, which show up, and we'll be noting those as we go along, of course, in which Jesus is establishing certain signposts, you might say, as to his identity and to his mission. And this happens to be the first of them, so John calls it the beginning of signs. So this beginning of signs he did, namely ho Jesus, nominative case Jesus did, in Cana, in Cana, tes Galileas, of Galilee, kai ephanerosen, which is from phanerao, which verb means to make manifest, to show, to make evident, to make something conspicuous. It has the idea of making something quite obvious. And so this is, of course, here intended to say that this beginning of signs was obvious, and in fact, in so doing, Jesus made known the aorist here, ephanerosen, tein doxen. The word doxa, as in doxology, means the glory, made his glory manifest. He manifested his glory. Kai epistusan, third person plural, aorist, active indicative. They believed, eis auton, they believed in, literally into him, the idiom, in the way that's constructed in the New Testament, and then hoi mathetai too, his disciples believed in him, moved to a greater state of believing, you might say. They probably already had some level of faith, but now this initial sign, this display of his miraculous power in transforming water into wine, moves them to an even greater level of faith. And of course, that's significant that this is the first sign. It's the new wine. Jesus was bringing new wine into the situation of the Jewish nation in the first century, and in some ways we're not surprised that he would appropriately enough signal his mission by transforming out of the purification rites of the Old Testament this which is now going to be the new wine associated with his messianic mission.